I ever tell you guys about how I dated this guy that cheated on me, that got another girl pregnant? Crazy story. But look, before I start, please do me this huge favor. Please like, please subscribe, because I can guarantee
This is a juicy story.
So even though I say this story now so calm and relaxed, like when this happened to me, like I was devastated. I dated this guy for 10 years. He was my first real boyfriend, this guy I had ever been with. So obviously, like, I was emotionally attached to this guy. But this is what needed to happen. He honestly needed to have this baby with this other woman for me to realize I needed to leave him alone, because he had took me through so much, literally hell. Like, my family hated him. He stayed always in and out of jail our whole relationship. He was always cheating on me. So I realistically needed this to happen for me to drop him. It sounds horrible, but hey, that's what I had to do. Not just that, but quick story just to show you like how toxic this relationship is. One day I went to the jail to visit him. The guard was like, he already has a visitor here. She's looking over at this lady. He has another woman there visiting him. Like, I see her literally in the waiting room to visit him in the jail. If you guys want a story about that, let me know in the comment section below. But here's what happened. One day my friends were like, let's go out to this club. I had never even been to this club, guys. This is how I believe the universe works. Okay, so we get ready, we go to this club. As soon as I get to the club, I had to use the restroom. So my friends waited for me. I went to the restroom. It was like the moment I got in the restroom, I feel this lady looking at me up and down. I look over at her, but I don't even think anything about it, because I'm just like, okay, she's probably just on this weird stuff. So it got to the point after I finished the bathroom, she's still in the restroom, guys. I go and wash my hands. By this time, she's next to me at the sink, and I feel the heat of her looking at me. So I, just casually look over at her, and she was like, I know you. You're my baby's daddy's other baby's mama. And like, when I tell you I did not know how to process that, I literally was just like, other baby's daddy's other, like, what is, I'm thinking that, you know what I'm saying? So I just look at her, and I'm just like, yeah, but I never knew who she was, guys. So the moment, I finished washing my hands, that was all she said to me. I go back out to my friends, and that was like one of those things that someone can say to you that ruins your whole day. Like, that night moving forward, it was horrible. It was a horrible night that was constantly on my mind that, my boyfriend has another baby's mama. Like, keep in mind, I have one child, he has one child, we have that child together, right? So I tell my friends about her. They're like, what? Where's she at? And it was like, man, it was like the moment after that, she disappeared off into the sunset. I had no idea where she went. But keep in mind, I couldn't just call my boyfriend and say, hey, you have another baby's mama, what's going on? Like, I couldn't do that because he was in jail. He was always in jail. So when I got home, the first thing I did was write him a letter explaining to him what had happened at the club that night. Now, is that a very professional way of doing it? Possibly not, but that's all I could do. So when I finished, it was like a 10-page letter. Like, I was telling him I was done, how this girl approached me at the club and said these things to me. So of course he calls me afterwards saying, she's lying, whatever. But I had already been done, because the way I had made it up in my head, I'm not sure if you guys are going through the same situation, but if you are, but the way I had made it up in my head, I was like, look, I have accepted so much unnecessary behavior from this guy that's told me to leave him alone. If I accept this, what will I not accept? If you accept someone cheating, if you accept fighting someone, if you have, he even had the DEA raid my apartment looking for drugs. If I'm accepting all of this behavior, what will I not accept? So, my lease was almost up. I wound up moving out. And what confirmed this was true, not saying that I didn't already know, but she named the baby after him. Named the baby Junior. So, like, that was all I needed. You know what I'm saying? So, did he ever apologize? No. Toxic stuff. He has never apologized. I barely see him to this day. Probably in jail, you know. Last thing I heard, he had 5 kids now, so it's crazy. I don't know. But yeah, that's how I found out that, you know, the guy I loved, the guy I cared about, cheated on me and got a girl pregnant. Realistically, it taught me a valuable lesson. Like, even though like I went through all these trials and tribulations with this man, it taught me not to continue to keep accepting shit from people. Like, as far as relationships, as friendships, like that day moving forward, it drew the line for me to not continue to accept people. You know, if they're treating me bad or if it's in a relationship. And then not just that, like I never knew how that lady found out that I was his other baby's mama. Like back then, the only social media that was really out was Facebook. And I don't know if you guys know, like Facebook at a certain time, like you only had real friends that you knew. Like, you know, nowadays, like on Facebook, you have friends that you don't know. So I had no idea. So it made me speculate that he had to see me at my job, or he had to tell her. I don't know if she even knew that, you know, I was engaged in a relationship with him, man. It's crazy out here. And that's all I got for you guys today. Thank you for staying tuned to the very end. If you haven't liked, if you haven't subscribed, please do so at this time. And all my faithful subscribers, thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys. I love you guys. I miss you guys, and I can't wait to see you next time. Don't forget to turn your notification bell on so you never miss it when I drop a video.